Hey everyone, how's it going? Five Finger Shuffle back here with another video, and we have update talk today. So, the community live stream just finished about 10 minutes ago, where Gameloft goes live and talks about the update and sort of the things they want to reveal about the update. The actual patch notes won't be released until tomorrow, so if you're looking for those, stay tuned tomorrow. I'll probably do another video tomorrow covering the stuff they talk about then, but I know a lot of people are at work right now or they weren't able to make the live stream, and I know on stream last night I mentioned that I was going to make a video for those people so that if you missed the community live stream, you could come here on YouTube and watch it. So if you notice on the screen here, this is the first thing they leaked, was the new Halloween social hub. So this is just kind of a cool new overlay on our screen where you can see it's basically the new, like a new Halloween skin that we'll get over the holidays. So that's kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't change anything in the game, but it's nice to shake up the look of the game a little bit. So I like that. Let's move that down a little bit. So the next one, let's go into Arena. I got like 3 pages of notes here, guys, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I do have some screenshots and stuff like that. So the first thing is the revenge bug. So the one thing that they really wanted to do was talk about the revenge bug. So before, if people attacked you multiple times, you were able to revenge them basically as often as possible, which was huge and kind of game breaking, so you had to be really careful. Now though, that's apparently been fixed, so you know, we already know that you can beat them, so you can't attack them multiple times, so that's really nice that they fixed that. Secondly, when you are in this list here, the attack list, if you come through and you complete this entire list, when you refresh the list, like when you hit this refresh button on the bottom on the bottom right, none of your last 5 people that you successfully attacked will be on the new list. So say I'm fighting here and I beat I'm in Trouble and God Illusion, and then I refresh, those 2 will not be on my refresh list. So you can't just farm certain people, you have to attack a variety of people. So that should help give a little more balance in the arena. Also, they have added a new feature where if you clear the entire list, you will get 2 free PvP energy at the end of clearing the list. So if you're from other games, you know that they do this as well. So at least it's a nice way if you are lower down and you're trying to farm your way up. If you clear your whole list, instead of getting 10 PvP energy, you'll get 12. So you'll be able to clear a little bit faster without having to worry about refreshing your PvP energy. Then in, the next game mode they talked about was 5v5. So there's a bunch of things they talked about. First of all, the stability has been increased, so there should be less crashes, which is really, really nice. The second thing is there are new champion buffs in the jungle. I'm not going to go into the actual game to show you, but when you're jungling, so you're beating the little, like, I forget what they're called, but the little characters like in the jungle, there will be characters with buffs on them. So there will be one with an orange buff and I think one with a blue buff. The orange buff, if you defeat that character, you basically steal that buff. So that buff will give you a 15% attack buff. And then the blue one, I think it's blue, if you defeat that character, it will give you a cooldown reduction as well. I'm not sure on the percentage on that. I missed it. I can't remember if it's 15 or 20%. But it will give your character a reduced cooldown as well. The other thing they added is you can't use your ultimate until you hit level 4. So you have to get up to level 4. You know, you start the game at level 1 and then you level up. You have to get up to level 4 before you're allowed to use your ultimate. So that should be a little bit game changing. I'm not really sure how that's going to affect the game long term, but we'll have to see. and the towers have been balanced. I'm not sure, they didn't really say much about that, they just said the towers have been balanced. And there's a new ping feature as well, where you can ping your teammates to come to a certain location on the map, and it'll show up on the mini-map. So even if you're dead, you can still ping your team to come over a certain spot. So say the other team's trying to rush middle, and you're the only one that's noticed it, and the others are up on the top lane. You can ping your teammates, and they will see that you need help on the middle lane to help defend. So that's kind of nice. Also, GameLoft Sean was running the Dino Kid in 5v5 while he was showing all of this, and the reason he was doing that is because the Dino Kid now has lifesteal. I don't know if that's only going to be him, so the Nature Dino Kid is the only one you can use there, or if that'll be all of them. We do know that the Dino Kids are going to be getting Ignore Defense, boost in damage on their first skill. But they will be getting, at least the nature one will be getting lifesteal, so that may end up playing a role in the rest of the game as well. I'm not really sure, we'll have to see. And and there's a new chat feature. So this is not only, actually, you know what, before we get into that, at the end of the match there will also be an MVP feature for 5v5. So at the end of the match, you see like the 10 characters that were used, 5 for each team. Basically, it'll pick 1 or 2 MVPs, and it'll say who the MVP of the match was. It doesn't do anything; it's just kind of for bragging rights. But you could like catch it for social media or whatever. So that's pretty cool that they added that. Now, the one that I really liked, and one that will play a role not only there but also in co-op, is here. So this is also relevant in 5v5 if you're looking for a team, but primarily for me anyway, I don't do a lot of 5v5, so this is more important for me in co-op. Actually, this is probably a bad example. Maybe we're running Legend, and say I have 2 people already, there's me and 1 other person, I'm looking for more people to do Legend, and right now you come in here and it has Global Chat and Guild Chat. There's going to be another tab that says co-op, and then a 4th tab that says 5v5. You can click on either of those tabs and recruit people to come into your match. So when you click on it, it'll have, so it's basically the same as this chat here, except on the left hand side beside their name there's going to be a little plus button, and you can add anybody. So those people do not have to be on your friends list, which makes this so much easier to match with people. And that means especially for content creators like myself, if I'm streaming and I want to do some co-op with somebody, I don't have to worry about deleting people off my friends list and adding someone else. It means I can add anybody, which is super, super nice. That's going to be enormous for people that are trying to do more co-op and more 5v5, because now you can easily add people to your teams without having to go through the hassle of doing that. And I think it's going to push people to do more of those game modes as well, just because it's easier. Alright, so let's come back here. One of the big issues a lot of people have been complaining about is champion storage. So I've actually fed a lot recently, and I have only 34 spots available. I was up at like 190, but I cleared a lot of spots because I recently just got this girl. I got Yua last night in stream. If you didn't see it, I'm sure there's a clip of it on my channel. I think I actually have the video of it, but we'll save that for another time. So I got her. I was super pumped. So I had a bunch of food ready, and I started making her already. So she's already up to 5-star. That's why I'm currently so low. But like, I've been saving up my tutors, and you get 1 of each LD champion, and then you got dupe 4-stars that you don't really want to feed, and then all of a sudden I'm into my 5 and 6 stars, and my champion storage is pretty much full. So they have added champion storage. Now, I'm sure not everybody's going to be pleased with this. I have a screenshot for you though. Hold on, let me find it. Here. Alright, here's a screenshot. So, come into the shop, there will be a tab labeled special, and under this special shop you can get, this is where you buy your discs. Also, if you buy discs, which I don't recommend doing, just for the record. But you can spend 50 gems on 10 slots. So every 50 gems will buy you an increase of 10 slots. And you can buy up to 15 of those, which works out to 150 slots. 15 times 50 is a lot of gems. That's 750 gems it costs to max your champion slots. So you're probably going to want to do that gradually over time. And I feel like that cost might be reduced in the future, because that's a lot. That's 2 energy refreshes almost. So if you can survive without it, then do so. Because there is another way you can get them for free. The thing I do want to draw to your attention on this board is on the left here, the Archangel Champion Shards. Nobody really mentioned this, but does that mean we can farm Archangels now? And if so, can we farm like unlimited? And if we can farm unlimited, then like, or is that buyable with gems? Like, what is this? And how do we get them? And can we use those to skill up our existing Archangels? I want to know what that is, or if that's just kind of a placeholder and it won't be in the game. I'm honestly not sure. But at the very least, that's something interesting. Now also, if you go over to the PvP shop, I believe, or maybe it was the guild shop, I can't remember. Let's jump over here. We won't be able to see it, obviously, because the update isn't live yet, but if we go to shop, I think it was the guild shop. There is also, you can also buy slots here. You can only buy 50 here. So you can buy it 5 times and 10 slots each. So that will give you up to another 50 slots. So that'll probably be what I do first, is I'll buy those 50. You can see I have 1,100 guild coins saved up. So I'll buy those 50 right away, and then I'll slowly grind down on the other ones, because that's a lot of gems to give away just to expand your storage. But at least we can get 50 right away. Also, when you come into here and you scroll down, you can see you can change. This is the options menu. You can add leader buffs and debuffs, ally buffs and debuffs, etc. Down at the very bottom here, there's going to be a new tab that says skip cutscenes. So for those of you that are farming a lot and you want to reduce your run times, you can click reduce cutscenes, or skip cutscenes, sorry, and that will completely eliminate the cutscenes, making your runs much faster and making you be able to farm more, and of course use your gems faster. Next we have adventure. So the big issue with adventure is we do a run using a rep, and then when you're done using that rep, so say you come in, say I'm leveling up these two, we come in, we use Cammy's rep here. At the end of the run, the rep expires and we have to exit all the way back to the main menu, and reselect a new champion and come back. So that can be super annoying. Here, you know what? Let's just do a run so I can show you. Obviously, I don't need to level these champs, and I don't need to use the rep, but we're gonna do it anyway, just so you can see what they're doing. And then we're gonna get into, after this, we're gonna get into the buffs that are buffs and nerfs that are happening. Spoiler, not a lot of nerfs, thankfully. I was a little concerned about that, but not a lot of nerfs. So this is on the easiest level. It should be quick. Go, Alia, go. Basically, she just has to run through the whole level. We should have picked a Scorpion level just so that this wouldn't take as long. But that's okay. Here, you know what? Let's manual this and just run by everybody. I don't know if they're gonna let us, but we're gonna try. There we go. Much better. Alright, so this cutscene will be gone, which is really nice. You come to your victory screen. Obviously, we're going to sell that. We're going to get rid of that. And here, you have no option to run it again, which sucks, right? You have to click Adventure, wait for it to load back, and it brings you all the way back to the original adventure mode. So now, we have to come into another run. We have to click Start. We have to click past that skip scene, which hopefully, once that thing is clicked, it'll be gone as well. And then we have to go back to Friends, and we have to select another rep. Now what's going to happen is at the end of your run, there'll just be a little tab on the bottom left-hand corner that says Change Team or something similar to that. And you can just go in and click back and change your units instead of going all the way out and back in again. Alright, so the big one that everybody wants to know is the buffs and debuffs. So obviously they didn't go over everything. Unfortunately, they can't. It's only an hour-long stream that they do. But the patch notes will be released tomorrow. They talked about a few of the main units though, and I'm not sure if these are the only buffs, but by the sounds of it, these are the only buffs to these units, or most of them. But I'm sure there are other buffs to other units and other nerfs to other units. They just didn't talk about it in stream. So the one that everybody wanted to know was the Archangels. Currently, I mean, we already knew, they already sort of leaked that this shield skill was getting a buff in some way. Currently it says protects himself and nearby allies with the Holy Shield, shield amount based on allies' max HP. So that makes this shield good, but because it's based on allies' max HP, if you're shielding something like the say you're shielding a Blade Master who doesn't have a lot of HP, that means the shield's relatively weak. So I have a screenshot of how it's being changed. If we can pull that up here. So here's the change. Alright, here it is. So now all of a sudden shield amount based on max HP, which is different than the previous one that was based on allies max HP. It's now based on the Archangel's max HP. So let's go back here. If we look at his max HP, he actually has currently a plus 12 5-star glove on him because I never use him. But he already has 78.5k HP. So that means those shields are going to be super, super strong. Think about how strong the shield is for a unit like Ballarat, who only shields himself. But you now throw that shield from Torellion on all of your squishy units, and that's going to make dungeon runs a lot easier, I feel like. It still may not have a place in PvP. It will if the other team doesn't bring a strip. But if they don't bring a strip, if they don't bring a strip, it'll be good. But if they do, it can just easily be stripped. But yeah, in dungeons, that should really help. And that buff is going to be on him. That buff is going to be on Valor as well. And that buff is going to be on Ardenellis as well. So the 3 Archangels with the Aegis skill, their shield is going to be based on max HP of him instead of on the allies' max HP. Next up on the buff list, where is he? This is the one that I was actually the most excited about personally. The Ink Ninjas. So, the Ink Ninjas, I was mentioning a lot actually that I was really, really, really hoping for them to get a crazy buff, and that their buff was going to be Legendary Mortal Wounds. Unfortunately, that did not happen. I was praying for it. I thought it would change the meta. I thought it'd be really neat. But unfortunately that didn't happen. So now what they've done is skill 1 and skill 2. Skill 1 I believe got a damage buff, but also skill 1 and skill 2 will ignore 25% of the enemy's defense. So especially skill 1, you add 50% damage, plus you add 25% ignore defense. That's going to be huge. That's going to be an insane buff to his damage. And then Tongue Lash as well, although Tongue Lash already lowers defense, so I don't really know why if it lowers defense it ignores defense, but I'll take it. I mean, ignore defense is ignore defense. The main problem on this unit currently is this skill here. This is an amazing skill. Brings ink to life, summoning a massive frog spirit to devour enemies, deals damage with an increased crit chance to enemies within an area and knocks them into the air. This is a guaranteed crit against marked enemies and deals bonus crit damage to these enemies. So super cool skill, right? Like, this is guaranteed crit chance, does massive damage. It's amazing. Unfortunately, that skill takes a really long time to like finish itself. So you click the button and he has to like do his whole thing, bringing the ink to life, and then eventually the attack goes off. I know we've been trying to use it in co-op, and it's really hard to time it because the shield only goes down for a limited amount of time, and unless you hit the skill before the shield drops, by the time you wait for the skill to proc, the shield's already back up again, or he's flown away or whatever. So that was a huge issue in that basically the skill was, I don't want to say unusable, but it was really hard to use because it took forever to proc. And if you were using it in PvP or in 5v5, the unit had a long time to get out of the way, and you could basically see it coming. It was very telegraphed, and it was very easy to get out of the way. Now this skill's proc time is going to be cut in half. So this is going to be way, way, way faster, which I know doesn't sound like much. It doesn't sound like much of a buff. But in terms of usability, that changes everything. That really is going to make him much stronger. Next up is the Fire Siege Tower. So I don't have the Fire Siege Tower, but I have a screenshot here. So Fire Siege Tower getting a buff. Just to be clear, I know the issue with the Dark Siege Tower is the same issue as the one with the Fire one. What I don't know is if this same buff is going to be on the Dark Siege Tower as well or not. Keep in mind, these are just screenshots, so it's not quite as clear as I would like. But the problem with this unit is that the nature and water ones were really good because it fires the 5 cannonballs and puts on ongoing damage, which made them great for bosses. But this girl and the dark one as well, they don't really do anything. They just fire the cannonballs and that was it. Now there's a new legendary debuff associated with this skill, and it says, and it shreds defense of enemies in a line and then explodes when it hits the wall and reaches max range. The explosion damages and stuns enemies. So will this be good on like an arena defense? I don't know. Basically, shreds defense, the buff, what that means is it's going to decrease defense by 5%, and it can stack for up to 5 stacks. Now, what we don't know is, I mean, what it looks like is each damages and slows and shreds defense, which would mean each of the fireballs can shred defense, which means you could get to maximum stacks if you land all 5 shred defenses in one set. So it says fire 5 cannonballs and there's 5 stacks. Hopefully that means you can get the max of 25% on one turn. If that's not true and you can only get 1 per turn, the cooldown is 36 seconds. It'll basically be unusable. But it sounds like, in the wording of the skill, sounds like you're going to be able to use that and you're going to get 25% defense reduction right away. And I don't I mean, I don't know how long that buff is going to last for, but basically, and it could be all units as well because it's in a line. So it could be any of the units in the line of that fire are going to get that that defense reduction of up to 25%. So that's huge. I mean, that should really help. I don't know where you're going to use that necessarily, but it could be great on bosses if you want to shred the defense of the bosses. But it is a legendary debuff, which means it can't be cleansed, which hopefully is going to make her usable now. We will have to wait and see. I don't have one. I've never used one. I only have the water one. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Next up, where is my Monkey King? Alright, Monkey Kings. The Monkey Kings have been the meme since the beginning of the game. We've been waiting in the hopes that there'd be a new buff. I've always thought they were underrated. I always thought there was room for them to be better. But at the same time, I thought they were underrated. I actually used the fire one. I used the fire one a lot early game. As the game went on, they were really strong on arena defense there for a while. And then the meta changed with the Water Magic Girl, and now nobody uses them at all. So they did need a buff. What happened to them? First of all, increased damage on skill 1. We knew that before this stream. So increased damage on skill 1, which is really nice. But they also have a new legendary debuff on their overhead toss. So on their second skill, which is a really low cooldown here, I believe it goes down to 6 seconds. No, it doesn't go down to 6 seconds. Never mind. So 8 seconds still is crazy. It does have the strip, removes 1 buff from the target, but also there's going to be a legendary debuff on this. Is going to be legendary silence. So legendary silence on the Monkey Kings could potentially be big in arena. I mean, basically it's going to be a single target skill, but if you can legendary silence a unit on, say, arena defense, does that eliminate the Magic Girl Violet meta? I don't know. That could definitely be game changing. So legendary silence, it is a new debuff in the game. Nobody's even tried it yet, so we'll have to see how that plays. But these Monkey Kings could be really strong. Like I said, I use this guy. It's not quite skilled up yet. He only needs 1 more on this skill, but legendary silence could be big. There's only 3 of the Monkey Kings are being affected by this: the dark, nature, and water. So this guy apparently isn't getting it, so screw him. Although I do like him, he is getting increased damage on his first skill, and all of the Monkey Kings are getting decreased cooldowns. So if you look at this guy, 36-second cooldown on tag team. Monkey tricks at 12 seconds and overhead flip at 8 seconds aren't too bad, but they're getting reduced as well, which is really nice. And this tag team skill getting reduced as well. So he'll be more usable just because of the increased damage and the cooldown reductions. But legendary silence, I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the legendary silence and how you plan on using that. It is only single target, but being able to essentially disable a unit could be pretty huge. We'll have to see. Also, one of the units everybody's been talking about is Violet. So everyone knows that this ensnaring root skill is crazy overpowered. Or wait, is it stinging brambles? I don't even know. I feel like it's this one. But either way, the one where it brings up that wall of roots that lasts for 6 seconds, currently, because she's on Dazzling, everybody builds her on Dazzling. Because she's on Dazzling, and it's a 6-second skill, Dazzling has a chance to proc once every second, which means that 6-second skill, she has 6 chances to stun and basically can keep you perma-stunned over and over and over again over the course of 6 seconds. So she can completely lock down your team. And that was a little overpowered. So what they've done is they've said that basically once you get stunned, you are going to have a guaranteed 0.2 second window before you can be stunned again. So the stun lasts for 1 second. You can't be stunned, so once you're stunned, you can't be stunned again for 1.2 seconds, which means you'll be stunned for 1 second and then there'll be a 0.2 second cooldown afterward. Is that enough? I don't know. But it will give you time, say if you're running immunity, if I have like this guy on my defense and all of a sudden he comes off cooldown for a second, then he can pop his immunity up right away, and it gives him time to at least put the immunity up and stop the next stun. So hopefully that's enough to kind of nerf that defense a little bit. On to the next page, one of the units that I've been bragging about forever, and I love this guy, Fathom. I think he's so good, especially for Steel Widow early game. If you haven't already built him because of this shield, you better build him now, because he's getting a massive buff. People talk about early game using Xenia and using, where is he? Manas, and Manas as well. People always use these two guys for skill cooldown reduction. Now, also, this bubble shield is also going to have skill cooldown reduction on it. The skill itself can't, because the skill cooldown is so short, it's only 7 seconds. If you have him on Adept, he can actually stack shields. So this skill won't be affected by skill cooldowns, but he will do the shield and he will do skill cooldown reduction on your entire team. So if you put him, Manas, and Xenia on the same team, basically you have no cooldowns on any of your skills. And you can just spam all your skills all the time. He's going to be crazy strong for early game Steel Widow. He's going to be a monster. If you don't have him already, make sure you watch my Steel Widow guide. I will post the link in the description. And actually what I'm going to do is I will post that video at the end of this video. It'll be up on the screen, so you can click on it at the end of this. It'll pop up at the end of the video, because I posted a video that was the 3-man Steel Widow team, and I said if you want to run a 4-man Steel Widow team and level fodder, use that Naga, and basically his shield will save your team, and you can basically guarantee 4-man Steel Widow with him, the Snake Lady, Manas, and Xenia. And then you can level any fodder you want using those 4. Well, if you were having a hard time with that before because your gear wasn't quite on the right level to be able to pull that off, this counters that, and his skill cooldown reduction is going to basically make sure you survive. It'll give you more ongoing damage because the Snake Ladies will apply more ongoing damage. It'll give you more heals because of Xenia's heal being reduced. It'll give you more heals from Manas' heal being reduced. It'll give you more damage from Manas. It'll give you more defense breaks from Xenia. It's just crazy. It's going to give you everything you want. He's going to be super, super strong. And on top of that, if you don't have him, if you never summoned him and you wish you had him, you can come in here to rituals and you can fuse him as well. So you can ritual summon this guy. All you need is 3 stars and a mojo, and I believe they're all farmable as well. I don't remember where you get this girl, but she's farmable somewhere in one of the scenarios. And this guy you can get all over the place. You can get shards for him, or you can get him from the chest, or you can summon him, and this guy's available in scenario as well. So easy to get, and going to be a staple for Steel Widow teams early game. So definitely consider building him. And the final buff and debuff that they mentioned was this guy. If you've put your best gear on this guy, I'm sorry, but he is getting a damage reduction. So his ultimate, they said he's currently doing what he's supposed to be doing, but they're saying that this Megaton Stomp is doing too much damage, so they're just nerfing the damage he does. Nothing huge. He'll still do what he's supposed to do, but with the damage he does reduce means he probably won't be killing anybody on arena defense. So maybe he loses his spot on arena defense. I'm not sure. Maybe people try the Archangels now because of the shield buff. We'll have to see. Next up, we are going to talk about the new champions. So the first screenshot I have here for you is this. So Dungeon Hunter Champions has partnered with the King of Fighters to bring us some new champions. Now, I'm a little confused on some of this information, so don't quote me on all of this. But there are 2 new champions. There's going to be 4 new champions total. They only mentioned 2 of them. These 2 champions are only going to be available through events. So the event that comes right with the release of patch, you'll be able to get these champions. I'm assuming that there are all 5 elements of these champions. I don't know how many of the elements we're going to be able to get. If we're only going to be able to get 1, or if we're going to be able to get multiple, or how that's going to work. Whoa, wrong button. Rip. So yeah, I'm not really sure about that. They didn't specify. All we know is that these are going to be obtainable from the event. The second the event goes live, we will be able to get them. This is the first unit, Kyo Kusanagi. Apparently these units are directly from that game. I've never played that game, so I don't really know. But apparently the units are the same, and they have the same sort of play style in terms of skills. I do have some video footage to show you from the update. It may take a second for me to get it on the screen properly, but we're gonna try. But yeah, this is the first character. Now, one of the leaks that they mentioned was 3 bars, and with like different types of attack speed. So these units play a lot different than normal units. It's kind of confusing, but there are going to be 3 bars underneath instead of just the health bar. There's also going to be like a meter that fills, and once it fills up completely, it brings them into like hyper mode or something. And once they hit this mode, they have a special skill they can use that's like super strong, and it looks really cool. I will show you guys that in the short video that was from the live stream. The second unit is, where did she go? There she is. Oh, I missed her name. I think I wrote it down here. Mia. So this is Mia. Like I said, we did see all 3 regular elements. I didn't see the light darks. I don't know if they're going to be obtainable or how that's going to work. But this girl, Mia, is a Nat 5. And Kyo is a Nat 4. So we'll have to see. Basically, yeah. And I don't know. I don't know much about it. This is really all we know. They do come with, or sorry, they don't come with, but you can obtain special gear for them. There is special gear, and it will say like Mia shoulder. I don't know how you get this gear. They didn't mention how you're supposed to obtain this gear, but it is gear specially tuned to them. You can put any gear on them apparently. So if you want to put Adept on them, you can. If you want to put Vital on them, you can. If you want to put Mortal on them, you can. But somehow you can get special gear for these units, and I don't know if you can only put it on them or if it will do anything on regular units, but there is special gear tuned to these units. I feel like this is mostly for 5v5, but maybe they'll be usable in arena as well. It's going to be hard to tell, but we're going to have to wait for more information. Hopefully all that information we get tomorrow, and we will be better able to understand sort of what's going on with that. But I think the character art looks amazing. I really hope these units are as good as advertised, because it looks really cool. Alright, let me try and bring up this video here. Let's go browser source. And where's the link? Let's add that here. Paste, okay.
Tutorial.
No
nubs.
We know how to play this game.
I'd like to say I know how to play, but
well, we saw it in 5v5, right?
Yeah, don't remind me. So we have Kyo gear, my gear. You want to explain a little bit how that works?
Yeah. So these are new gear set. So the Kyo gear set will, when you equip 2, you get bonus damage for empowered skills. So when you get your super empowered, basically when you use a stock, when your
so you can see the new gear here.
You get more damage for these skills.
It says Mia's shoulder, Maya's, Kyo's shoulder, and then Maya's shoulder. So there's different shoulders based on the units.
Faster, like 200%.
Yeah. So I mean, you can pretty much just you can equip them with any gear you want.
Yeah.
But these gear
are specific for their.
Where's the gameplay one? That's the one I really want.
So with my gear
tutorial.
No
nubs.
We know how to play this game.
All right, so let's.
I'd like to say I know how to play, but
well, we saw it in 5v5, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one that I think has the gameplay.
What happened?
Yeah.
Oh no! You just missed the episode.
So this is Kyo.
We'll have to talk to our support team about that. No.
But we see that this is the.
You can see that skill there. That cool fire skill is from Maya.
So just for an example, maybe
the blue one.
Yeah, so you can switch to Mai maybe.
Yeah, she might die though.
I think we're going to see it one more time here.
No, we got it.
So, for
so
example,
her attack bar fills
Fire Mai, have
right at the end.
Her skills, like she just spin her fan around her. So that's the basic skill.
There you go.
So.
Alright, so it's almost filled, and here it is. Now that it's filled, she does this ultimate skill. It looks super cool.
Just a quick tornado.
Let's remove that.
Launch any up.
So yeah, hopefully you guys are excited for that. I think it looks really, really neat. We're gonna have to see, like I said, how it plays out. But I think it looks amazing. Hopefully we can use it in all aspects of the game, not just in 5v5. But we're gonna have to see. Again, the patch notes do come out tomorrow, so I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope this shines some light on what's coming in the new update. I know they've been super secretive about it and haven't really told anybody anything. But the leaks that we got are kind of all now confirmed, and we know what they mean, and we kind of know what's coming. Now it's time to start planning your new arena offenses and defenses with the new Ink Ninja and Monkey King buffs. Again, let me know what you think about the legendary silence of the Monkey Kings in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions, leave them there and I will get back to you. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share with your friends, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you tonight on stream on twitch.tv/5fingershuffle. Thanks and have a great day, guys. Bye.